Hi, I'm Tom Garrity with Compass Point, where we specialize in family businesses, and welcome to Conversations at Family Biz Matters. This year we've been talking about the family business system, which consists of three domains: the family, the business, and ownership. And those three domains intersect one another, and everybody in the family business system resides in one of those or two of those or all three of those circles or domains. And based on where you are, you have a different perspective, and those differing perspectives are sometimes what lead to conflict and some of the challenges that we find in family businesses. We find that the family domain, that families of character have the most positive impact out of all three of those on the success of the family business. And so I want to share with you what we find in these families, what we say families of character. What are some of the characteristics that we've seen that they do uniquely or they do well that helps them be very successful as a family, but also takes that culture and is part of embedding it into the family business and its success. So today I'm going to talk about social media and specifically Google. So hear this: Google is not God. Google is an algorithm. Let me say that again. Google is not God, it's an algorithm. It's a very smart algorithm, but it's just an algorithm. Stop and think about how you take for granted basically anything you read on the internet as fact. Now, some people are a little bit more discerning, but in general, we look at it and the assumption, initially anyway, is that's the truth. But just a little bit of investigation, you will find that that's not necessarily true at all. It may be the truth, but there's nobody governing what goes on the internet. And Google simply is responding to a bias that you've created with your profile of getting you information that's going to continue to feed that bias. I mean, ultimately, it's all driven by advertising. That's the game. We can all argue about whether that's right or wrong. That's a whole nother video. But I think the most important thing to understand is Google is not God. Social media is not God. And it's killing us. It's killing our families. It's killing our kids. Literally. Do yourself a favor. See the Netflix show, Social Dilemma. You'll start to understand some of the power behind the internet, behind Google, behind social media. And I'm not lambasting it. It's something that we're going to have to figure out how to get our arms around. But what I can say right now with 100% accuracy is Google is not God. It's an algorithm. Be careful what you get. Be careful what you believe. Be careful what you internalize. Be careful what you spew out to the rest of the world because you saw it on the internet. It doesn't mean anything. Families that learn that, families that teach their kids that, especially because they're young, they're naive. We're not so great ourselves as adults, but our kids are getting destroyed by so much of what's going on in social media. It's algorithm based. It's not policed. Pretty much anybody can say anything. The number one thing I want you to leave with in this video is Google is not God. It's an algorithm. If you like what you heard, check out our website, compasspt.com. Lots of blogs, videos, content, ways to make your family business work. And if you like what you heard today and you have some comments, please leave them below and I'll be sure to get back to you. Thanks for joining me.